Good evening, everyone. If we could all try to make our way to our seats, we could get this wonderful evening started. We can all be thankful that we didn't set up outside in Town Square Park today. There's a few more seats over here, and then if there's some spots at some of the round tables, I'd appreciate if everyone could grab a seat. All right, we're getting a few more chairs out so we can get started. Jonathan, can we turn the volume up a little bit? All right, good evening, everyone. Can you all hear me? Okay. I feel like some of you can't hear me. Yeah, I'm not very good at that whistle thing. And I'm missing our gavel. We need something to bang. All right, good evening, everyone. And happy Pechanga Pu'éska Mountain Day. Yeah. So November is also National Native American Heritage Month, and it is our honor to live and work among the presence of the Pechanga people. I am Temecula Mayor Zach Schwenk, and I'd like to welcome you all here today, especially Pechanga tribal members. Our guests of honor are always the Pechanga tribe, and Andrew Maciel Sr., elected treasurer of the PDC, is here representing Pechanga, and it's very nice to see you. Thank you for being here. Yeah. I'd also like to thank Susan Miyamoto for the beautiful prelude music, as always, and a special guest this year, your son Joshua. We really appreciate you both. Susan, yeah. Susan has been a part of this holiday tradition since the beginning. And for those of you who may not remember, Susan, her son, and her family lived at the land just below Pu'éska Mountain for many years. And they were instrumental in part of the community's battle to preserve Pu'éska Mountain. And you'll see Susan in the documentary as well. Before we get started, we're going to start with a land acknowledgement. So I'd like to go ahead and read a land acknowledgement. The city of Temecula acknowledges the Payom-Cowicham peoples as the traditional land caretakers of western Riverside County, northwestern San Diego County, and the southern Channel Islands as it is defined by the Payom-Cowicham oral traditional history. The Payom-Cowicham Nation recognizes their place of creation at Efa Temeku since time immemorial. This is where Temayawit created the world and everything that surrounds us. The Pechanga people's first people, the Kamalum, were born at Efa Temeku. The Ataham, which means people in the Pechanga people's language, were born at Efa Temeku. And in time, the Ataham lived throughout the lands created by Temayawit, what the Pechanga people define as a traditional homeland. Today, the Payom-Cowicham Nation continues to thrive and is recognized as a sovereign nation in relationship with the United States and the state of California. The Payom-Cowicham Nation is represented by the La Jolla Band of Liseño Indians, the Pala Band of Mission Indians, the Pama Band of Liseño Indians of the Pama and Yuman Reservation, the Pechanga Band of Indians of the Pechanga Reservation, the Rincon Band of Indians of the Rincon Reservation, and the Saboba Band of Liseño Indians. The reservations of the Payom-Cowicham Nation are now within San Diego and Riverside counties. This land acknowledgement to the tribe is also on a plaque now engraved for City Hall, and we also have one for the tribe as well. The understanding here is that the city of Temecula supports land preservations and support protecting Pechanga's sacred places. We acknowledge that the Payom-Cowicham people, the Pechanga people, as the traditional caretakers of Temecula and beyond. This is among the reasons we gather today. Pechanga Pu'éska Mountain Day was proclaimed a local holiday in 2012 to celebrate and respect the native culture of our city and the heritage of the Pechanga Band of Indians. I'd like to take this moment to also promote the Great Oak Press, Pechanga's own publishing company. Today's holiday is also educational. As shared on their website, Pu'éska established Great Oak Press in order to provide an avenue by which Native voices and topics of significance and importance to Native Americans could find their way into contemporary discourse and become both a growing and permanent part of recorded knowledge. So for language and Indigenous studies resources, I encourage you all to check out the Great Oak Press. We also have a display in the corner of their books, and they're all available to purchase online. This year, the Pu'éska Mountain Holiday lands on the National Congress of American Indians annual conference in New Orleans. Chairman Macaro is also the NCAI first vice president, and I think it's an important conference this week for the tribe, and we wish them the very best. Before we bring up our guest of honor, Andrew Maciel Sr., we have a few representatives here who would like to share a few words of respect for the Pechanga tribe. And I'd first like to welcome up State Senator Kelly Ciarto. Welcome, Kelly.
Well, thank you very much for having me attend the event today, inviting me, and we have this every year now. It's a great event, and you know, the battle to preserve Pu'éska was a battle on all fronts, and it took a while, but I remember back in the day when this was all going down, how everybody coalesced. The community of Temecula's, Murrieta, certainly the Pechangas, and everybody worked together to ensure that the sacred land would stay sacred and stay in its current form forever. And so I just want to say congratulations to everybody because this is something that you're leaving behind, and generations upon generations will see that. And as we get farther away from when it actually happened, people might forget what it took to make it happen. And so, you know, thanks to all of the people that were involved. And later on, I'll be presenting a resolution that was formed by the Senate recognizing Pu'éska Day. So thank you all for allowing me to say a couple words, and also for all of that you have done to make this day possible. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Senator Ciarto. Now I'd like to welcome up a representative from California Assembly Member Marie Waldron's office. Welcome.
I'm very glad to be here on behalf of Assemblywoman Marie Waldron. She represented Temecula for 10 years in State Assembly, then redistricting took you away from us. Both the tribe and the city you're both in our hearts, and we're sorry to have lost you, but we were invited, so we were very glad to come here. And I have a couple of certificates of recognition congratulating both the tribe and the city for coming together to preserve the sacred mountain. It's a perfect example of cooperation that we need a lot more of today in this world. So congratulations and thank you.
Hey, thank you very much. All right, next, as you'll see in this documentary, The Mountain That Weeps, there's a significant grassroots citizens effort led by SOS Hills that garnered the attention of tens of thousands of Temecula residents to rise up together alongside the tribe, San Diego State University, and the city of Temecula. You can look for these individuals in this documentary as well. They each have a few words to say here this evening before. So I'd like to welcome up now Kathleen Hamilton, Susan Miyamoto, Fred Bartz, and Marianne Byers. No, you can go however you prefer.
Okay. Good afternoon. My name is Susan Miyamoto, and it's always an honor for me to be able to participate in Pu'éska Mountain Day. I think it's important to continue to recognize this city holiday and not to let the passage of time diminish the importance of the remembering this day. The fight against Liberty Quarry brought together the Pechanga tribe, the city of Temecula, and the community with people from all walks of life. I actively became involved with SOS Hills because my family's home was close to the border of the quarry. But as the battle continued over the years, and Pechanga revealed how Liberty Quarry would destroy the site of their creation story, the reasons to fight became more than just a battle to protect our quality of life. Saving Pu'éska Mountain became paramount to me. As a community, we should not forget our gratitude to the Pechanga tribe for saving us from Liberty Quarry and also for continuing to generously give to our community in many ways. I hope that Pu'éska Mountain Day continues to be celebrated each year on November 15th by future generations.
Hi, my name's Fred Bartz, and at first I want to say I thought I'd never wear an orange shirt again, but here I am. I had the privilege of being part of Save Our Southwest Hills board and working with dedicated Kathleen Hamilton and Bobby Wilder, who's unfortunately no longer with us. They were the leaders of SOS Hills that kept us, along with the collaborative effort of working with Pechanga Band of Indians in the city of Temecula. My wife and I moved here in 2005. Shortly after moving here, we learned there was a plans for a mega quarry. And we said, basically, did we pick the wrong place to live? We don't want to live by a quarry. I know the effects of them from my corporate world. We soon learned that this fight was going to be a David and Goliath fight in a battle in which lasted up to 7 years. You may recall not once but twice, SOS Hills put up a human sign of the word no quarry, which gathered approximately 1,000 people to be there and actually put the company that's going to build the quarry on notice that this was not going to be a simple battle for them either. This certainly got the attention of the quarry company, and further, after many days of testimony of opposition of the quarry at the Planning Commission, we thought the battle was over as we had a 4-to-1 vote. At that Board of Supervisors, we initially thought that truly was over because we had a supervisor's 3-to-2 vote. But then we learned that the quarry was coming back to life. Clearly, our stones were not stopping Goliath. My point to this history is, in spite of many setbacks and frustrations, nobody gave up. Not SOS Hills, not the city of Temecula, and not the tribe. Now we all prepared to fight the battle in the courts, but now 11 years later, we were totally surprised, 11 years ago, that we were totally surprised that on November 15, 2012, the tribe announced that they had purchased most of the land and therefore the quarry would not happen. I'd like to say that we want to thank the tribe for their efforts because certainly that was the final straw that broke the camel's back that there would not be a tribe or a quarry in Temecula. Thank you for your time.
Hi, my name is Robbie Adkins, and I'm appreciative of this opportunity to thank the Luiseño Pechanga people because this was very personal for me. We moved from San Diego and we bought a house on Temecula Creek Inn Golf Course with a view of the mountain, the beautiful mountain. We immediately remodeled and opened up our house to take in the view. When I woke up in the morning, the first thing I saw was that beautiful granite mountain, sometimes pink from the sunrise. So I decided to paint a painting of that mountain. It was always sacred to me, that mountain. I made a water feature in the backyard with a mountain lion facing the mountain to protect it. I put a small medicine wheel in the point of my yard to protect it. I even made a small personal video asking the gods of the world to come and dance on the mountaintop. This was before I knew it was sacred to the Pechanga people. It was always sacred to me. So when we lost, and I did all the graphic design for SOS Hills for 8 years, when we lost, I was heartbroken. So I will never forget the day that I got the phone call that said, come to the top of the parking garage. You saved not only the mountain that was also sacred to me, you saved my home so we could continue to enjoy it. So thank you.
Hello, my name is Marianne Byers. I was also with SOS Hills. I don't know if anybody can tell, but I was born and raised Danish. So I came quite a ways to get here to enjoy this mountain. So I was Danish, then I was a Southern Californian, then I was a New Yorker, and then I came back to California and lived in Riverside County. I decided that I knew nobody here in Riverside County, and so I signed up for the local POA. My very first meeting, lo and behold, there is Matt Ron telling me about this important project that we needed to defend against. And I decided that POA wasn't so important. It was more important to try and fight this fight here. So I joined up with SOS Hills, and it was truly a grassroots organization. There were thousands and thousands of people that joined in. Now, it's easy to sign, right? Sign your autograph. But this wasn't just that. It was people who marched, who participated in events, who marched in 105-degree weather. It was amazing. And not only that, but the city of Temecula joined in with us, our local, what am I trying to say? Our Riverside Board of Supervisors, pardon me, I'm getting old, I can't talk anymore. Anyway, we all joined together, and then the pièce de résistance was the fact that Pechanga was able to work behind the scenes and make things happen. You know, because we could shout and scream and do as much as we wanted. We needed all of these items to come together, and they surely did. So thank you, Pechanga. It's been amazing. It's been a wonderful ride.
Hello, my name is Kathleen Hamilton, and I just have a short thing to say. Liberty Quarry. Imagine the jaws of destruction reaching for you. Imagine a giant mudslide ready to envelop you. Well, that's how it was in 2012, when a hand stepped up and stopped it. That hand was Pechanga. So we say thank you to the Pechanga Band of Luiseño Indians. We owe you more than all can pay. Thank you.
Thank you all. And before we begin to recite the proclamation, I'd just like to take a moment and recognize Mayor Pro Tem Stewart here with us this evening. Welcome. And former Mayor and Councilmember Matt Ron as well. Welcome. You get to see a slightly younger version of Matt in the video and documentary. Okay, we'll go ahead now and we'll begin to read the proclamation to reaffirm the city's proclamation made in 2012 that declared Pechanga Pu'éska Mountain Day a local holiday here. If you're involved in the reading of the proclamation, let's go ahead and line up here. Meanwhile, I'd like to welcome up our very special guest of honor this afternoon, Andrew Maciel, Sr. I'd like for you to share a few words, and then you'll be reading the very first paragraph of the proclamation. You got it.
Well, thank you very much, first of all. And as these ladies and gentlemen express their gratitude, it brought a whole bunch of memories back in terms of what that struggle was for those years, and the ambition that we collectively had was tremendous. I think that the fight was a fight, and we were never going to give up, and we did all what we could, as best as we could. At the end of the day, our tribe unanimously decided that if we were to buy the mountain and to once and for all end this struggle, which we did. So those aren't my remarks. I have some prepared remarks. I just had to say what I had to say right now. So good evening, and thank you all for being here. On behalf of the Pechanga Band of Luiseño Indians, we want to take a moment to thank the city staff that have made this event possible, especially City Manager Aaron Adams and Betsy Longry. We'd also like to express our gratitude to Mayor Zach Swank for his dedication in maintaining a strong relationship with the Pechanga people. As our neighbor, we greatly appreciate the efforts of the city and then of the county and the community, and more importantly, these men and women that came up earlier, the SOS Hills. They were not only an integral part of this success, but they, as she said, never got tired, and we're so dedicated in winning this battle, which we did. In acknowledgement and respect of everyone here tonight, I would like to say that Pu'éska Mountain, in terms of what it means to us as a people, it's a sacred place to us because we known this area as our creation site as a people and our beliefs. This event tonight commemorates the 11th anniversary of the fight that we had to preserve the beautiful mountains for our children, grandchildren, and children not yet born. For generations, the people of Temecula, the Pechanga people, stand together. The common struggle that developed has bonded us together as a greater people, and we obviously felt that the mining efforts were always bad from the beginning, and we felt that our efforts were united with you, not just you here tonight, but the city of Temecula, the children of Temecula, and the future of Temecula, held in the hands of an effort for us to collectively make that change, which we did. Pu'éska Mountain as a mountain is, yes, it is our creation site, and it'll forever be shared with the community of Temecula. You're our neighbors. Well, actually, you're our neighbors because we were here first. But, for Pechanga, we worked hard on that, huh, Jennifer? For Pechanga is not only the scenic beauty, but what's the significance of the mountain itself. Someone came up here and said they see sometimes the mountain gleaming like there's water. We see that as the mountain crying. And we saw that mountain cry several months during this process. And the crying is the center point for us to not only get involved in it, but save this mountain. I won't talk about the money because it was a pretty good sized check, but we had the money to do it. And as I said before, I have two of my fellow tribal members here with me this evening, actually three of them. And well, Jennifer, you're part of the tribe now too, so there's four of you. And I'd just like to say a shout out to them that our people as a people supported this. It wasn't just the leadership, it was the people being moved in a big way to do something about this, in which we did. From our families to you, we wish you not only a happy season, but more importantly, thank you and enjoy this day of Pechanga and the Pu'éska Mountain and the Pu'énka people, which means, everybody's saying that, but no one tells what that means. Pu'énka means we are people of the West. Thank you. Okay, I want to read this proclamation. Well, I'm not reading the whole thing because there's half a dozen people reading it. But I'd like to start out by saying that the proclamation today, whereas Pu'éska Mountain represents the place of sacred creation area for all of the Pechanga people, and
whereas Pu'éska Mountain is the Pechanga people's place of the union of Sky Father and Earth Mother, where life on earth began at Efa Temeku, therefore holding profound cultural, historical, and spiritual importance to all Pechanga people for all time, and
whereas Pu'éska Mountain was threatened to be permanently desecrated by Liberty Quarry, the most contentious land issue ever faced in Riverside County, and
Whereas the Liberty Quarry story is remembered as a collaborative and united effort by the Pechanga Band of Indians, Save Our Southwest Hills, San Diego State University, and the city of Temecula, tens of thousands of citizens, business owners, community stakeholders, and all who worked tirelessly to stop the useless destruction of an environmentally and culturally sensitive mountain. And
whereas the proposed surface mine would have irreversibly ruined the sacred creation area of the Pechanga people, and
Whereas Pechanga Mountain became a symbol to many communities of people enduring the 7-year battle to protect it from a devastating and massive quarry, and
whereas the valley's clean air, health, and general welfare of its population were threatened, as were the streams and groundwater of Pu'éska Mountain, the beauty of its native habitat, oak trees and weeping rocks of its cultural landscape, and Southern California's last free-flowing river to the ocean, the designated wildlife linkage between the inland and coastal mountain ranges, the Santa Margarita Ecological Reserve, the local economy, and the quality of life for the people in the valley below it. And
whereas Pu'éska Mountain strengthened and bonded its surrounding communities in a common cause worth protecting until the end. And
whereas on November 15th, 2012, Pu'éska was reunited with its original stewards to be preserved for future generations through a historic settlement agreement negotiated by the Pechanga Band of Indians, and
whereas the Pechanga Band of Indians announced the end of Liberty Quarry, and as a result, the crying rocks of Pu'éska wept with happiness as the winds blew strong and clean, and then all the people cried with profound gratitude. And
whereas the power of Pu'éska Mountain protected itself like it has since the time of creation for the Pechangayam, the Pechanga people.
Now therefore, in heartfelt recognition, the City Council and the citizens of Temecula would like to profoundly thank the Pechanga Band of Indians in honor of the significant contributions of many. I, Zach Schwank, Mayor, on behalf of the City Council of the City of Temecula, do hereby reaffirm that every November 15th shall be Pechanga Pu'éska Mountain Day. All right. And before we move on, I'd like to invite Paul McCarr up to speak. He was obviously instrumental and critical in the battle for Pu'éska Mountain, and I'd like for him to be able to say a few words. Paul.
Miriam, hello all of you. Palovo Hankai, good evening. I have unprepared comments, I guess. You know, one of the things that I remember most about November 15th, 2012 was waking up, going to work like normal, and I get a phone call about 9 o'clock saying, this is one of my councilmen saying, come to the government center. And, you know, we went over there. 5 minutes later, we're in the truck together. I have two of my councilmen, and in the truck, Pechanga truck, it actually had the seal on the side. And we drove up Rainbow Canyon Road, and we stopped, and there was a granite truck. And Mr. Gary, their project manager, was parked there. And I was shocked. I was shocked at seeing that truck. I didn't know why we left. Why are we in this truck? Why am I with council people? I'm just a plebe. I work there. I'm a tribal member, and I work for my tribe. But it was amazing. I actually got a picture of it. It's not a great picture, but I have it, and it's just like, because I was unreal. And we followed Gary, the project manager from Granite up, who fought us for years, since 2007. And then we got to the top. He started walking us around, giving us the tour of the property. And it still hadn't really settled in. I'm in shock. And it wasn't, I had to ride down the hill with him and his vehicle. And at some point, he turned to me and my councilman, and we're stopped, and he points over to this bunch of, this heap of steel that was laying on the side of the road, of the road on the way up, the dirt road. And he says, all that is yours. And when he said that, I was like, oh, it's happening. It is happening. And it was amazing, and I only knew that it was kind of happening because my little brother at the time, he's 2.5 years younger than me. He's 50-some now. But he was the tribal attorney at the time, and he had been in negotiations on behalf of our tribe with Jacob Mejia. Really, these are unsung heroes, and they fought it out in L.A. and with the attorneys from the other side. And it's one of those not so sexy stories that gets told, because that's how the sausage gets made, as they say. But there were so many people that fought. I just want to thank all the orange shirts. You guys are forever in our hearts, and you just really, SOS. Yeah, my favorite color is orange. Thanks a lot. It used to be blue. But so, just thank you so much to our people. Like as my elder, Andy Sr. was saying, thank you, by the way, for being here. Everybody else is at the National Congress of American Indians, very important meeting in New Orleans. But, thank you for being here and representing our folks. It was so great that everyone just stepped up. And thank you to the city, Betsy, Aaron, all the team. You've been amazing, and always, we're lifelong friends now, aren't we? So thanks again, and just an amazing day. Okay? Have a great evening.
Okay, before we debut the documentary, there were a couple. Senator Ciarto had a proclamation or a resolution that we'd like to formally present to the tribe. So if you'd like to come up now, we can formally present that.
So this year we were able to pass SCR 70 that recognizes Pu'éska Mountain Day in the state constitution. So we are now, every November 15th is recognized as State Pu'éska Day. There is a lot of whereases, and we read just a few whereases already. So I'm not going to repeat them all. But I'm really proud to be able to present this to you guys, commemorating the fight that it took to make this happen. And now it's state law. So anyway, congratulations.
Would Marie Waldron, would Marie Waldron's office like to come up and formally present the resolutions? Yeah. I know you had them earlier, but I want to do it in a formal way. And Assemblymember Kate Sanchez's office just arrived, so we'd like to ask her to come up, her office to come up and present a proclamation.
Well, on behalf of Assemblywoman Kate Sanchez, I guess we don't need that. We have a certificate of recognition that we're woefully unprepared for such an amazing day. We're new to the district, so this is amazing hearing these stories. Congratulations for your success in this, and we look forward to participating with your tribe in the future much more.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay, we have one last speaker. Is Laura Miranda would like to come up and say a few words. Welcome, Laura Miranda.
Good evening. Sorry I was a little late. My name is Laura Miranda. I'm a Pechanga tribal member, and I was also one of the attorneys that worked on the Pu'éska Mountain fight. I have been a tribal attorney for almost 25 years, and I can say that this was definitely the highlight of both my personal and my professional career, to be able to secure this place for my tribe and for generations to come. Folks out there and the youth out there, tribal people out there, sometimes it seems like, it's gloom and doom and things don't go the way of protection for tribal heritage, tribal culture, tribal traditions, and tribal knowledge. But sometimes it can go the other direction. And this is one of those times when we really dug in, and I think it was the unification of the city, the University of San Diego State, and especially all of the citizens in Temecula that came together to lodge a position on this and really draw a line in the sand and say, this is not acceptable for our community. And I think that's the power that can happen when folks come together under a common cause. So I just am very thankful that I was able to be a part of this, honored to be a part of this, to contribute in my own way of helping to preserve tribal heritage and helping to bring together what might seem to be varying groups of folks with different goals and ideas, and bring them together to share a common interest and to defend something that I think is all very important to us, and that's our way of life here, and having a community that is driven by grassroots local folks, right? So I just want to thank you for this opportunity. This commemoration means a lot to me. I always try to make it out, so I really appreciate it, and happy to talk with folks about this and share my experiences, because it was a really moving and emotional experience, as well as something that will live on forever, hopefully. So thank you. And thanks to my elected leadership at Pechanga for having the vision to do this and step up. So thank you.
All right, and with that, I would like to introduce this award-winning film, The Mountain That Weeps. As you watch this story, it's important to note that this is the lived experience here in Temecula and a historical for the tribe and for our city. It tells a larger story that can help us understand more deeply the struggles that the tribe and Native Americans experience in terms of land preservation and protecting sacred spaces. We thank Pechanga member Brad Manoa and his team at Pechanga Creative Studios, who worked tirelessly to put this 8-year story into an hour-long documentary so we can watch together as a community. Thank you all for attending and joining us in the Pu'éska Mountain Day celebration. Thank you.